Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Three Buck Theater, and I wasn't gonna really touch upon this issue, mostly because I just was laughing at it all day, all morning. Right? I'm looking at all these videos popping up from channels that are trying to act like they know how Hollywood works, that they're trying to act like they've got the inside information, but are well known to push false theory, false speculation, treat it as realism, and of course, it gets picked up and it gets spread around by other outlets who attempt to do the exact same thing. And today I'm going to be talking about Midnight's Edge a little bit, and Mr. H Reviews did a video on it too. But I'm going to be more or less referencing this article coming in from Bounding into Comics because they're a paragon of realism and reality and truth telling when it comes to journalism. They don't spin things, right? They don't make things up or just try to really imply certain aspects of what's going on. Yeah, they're completely on the up and up. They're totally honest actors across the goddamn board. That's called sarcasm, kiddies. Look it up. They got this article today coming out here saying that rumor top Disney executives livid over rumor female-centric Star Wars series from Leslye Headland. And this, of course, we knew once it got announced the other day. Once the Variety had broke the article talking about this new female-centric series coming to Disney Plus, and us not knowing anything about it. Someone had mentioned martial arts focused, but I couldn't find that at all in the original article. So that was something that was clearly speculated on. But that somehow became also, again, real news. And since Lucasfilm has not confirmed or denied any of this information, Leslye Headland herself hasn't really confirmed or denied any of this. There's now just a lot of speculation coming from the rumor mill because let's face it, guys, again, let's be honestly, utterly realistic here. We are in a global pandemic, which means that everything is shut down, which means that not a lot is moving on any of these fronts. And when that happens, we get crap like this. Now, before we even dive in, I do want to point out, and I talked about this in my video on it the other day, Borys Kit from The Hollywood Reporter, a well-known, well-respected journalist, commented on this story break by Variety by saying she probably signed the deal back in November because she was at the Rise of Skywalker premiere, and she was. I believe there's an interview footage of her being on the red carpet. So this is something that was already in the works. This is something that's already been coming out, and they probably just put the kibosh on publicly announcing it down the road. But they also probably did it around this time because didn't they just have like an earnings call the other day or something along those lines? I mean, there's a lot going on at Disney right now that's going to leave people really questioning where things are. But again, it's just ridiculous. I have to go through this here because this is, oh my God, I hate fake news. All right, so according to this, who wrote this? John F. Trent. I want to make sure I got that right. A new rumor indicates Disney's top executives and Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are livid over the rumored female-centric Star Wars series from Leslye Headland. The rumor comes from WDW Pro and the WDW Magic forums. Now, look, this is the rumor, by the way. This is seriously it. WDW Pro, which is a well-known member, he just says here, all right, usually I'm the one explaining what's going on behind the scenes, but I could use a little help with this one. So already off the bat, I'm the one who normally breaks this information down, but I don't know what's going on. Does anyone here know what's going on? So already the source is suspicious. I've got a friend in the know who says this morning both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are unhappy with Lucasfilm, and there is faster than normal movement going on to get high-level meetings going. What the heck is going on? I'm on the road, so I can't dig into this. But what could possibly be going on with Lucasfilm that would create a scurry when everyone is basically working from home, if at all? The term used was livid. I just can't imagine what they could have possibly done. Well, again, that's not any information. It's speculation. It's rumor. It might even be a bit of hyperbole. None of that is anything to dive your teeth. He's asking people to dive in. It's like saying, hey, listen, I heard Bigfoot was around. Anyone here know anything about Bigfoot? Where I could find Bigfoot? Is he here? Anyone? Bueller? No, it's so dumb. Anyway, but then he goes on to say here, later in the thread, another user guessed, right? You got to look at the language here. WW Pro says, I don't know what's going on. Can someone fill me in? Later in the thread, another user guessed that the reason for being livid might have to do with the rumored female-centric Star Wars series. Okay, fine. So, from former Harvey Weinstein personal assistant Leslye Headland, right? And again, look at what they're already attempting to associate with this character assassination because they're already trying. What, Leslye deleted tweets. They're already freaking out over that. You know, they're already, oh my God, she's deleting tweets. Oh my God, people delete tweets all the time. I don't even care. Anything you say can be used against you in the court of public opinion. Believe me, I know. So you say dumb things or you say something that might be viewed as being uncouth and you want to get rid of it because you know that these people are going to start looking into you because they're going to find anything and everything they can to besmirch your character because it's what fills their pockets full of money. Make no mistake, these attacks are financially driven for not only money, but clout and clicks and likes and everything else. This is all that it is. Now, WW Pro would confirm this guess by saying, yeah, you beat me to it. Apparently, the goobers at Lucasfilm hired Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant who comes with significant PR baggage, potentially legal baggage, and did so without consulting Disney or their legal department. Again, I just want to revert back to the Borys Kit tweet where he says she signed the deal back in November. She was on the red carpet for The Rise of Skywalker. So this is not like it's a new development. It's not like this is a new deal. They were probably actively working on this series from a while ago. Now, keep in mind, when you had the success of The Mandalorian and how that skyrocketed Disney Plus to untold heights in regards to social media popularity, you could probably tell that Disney at that point was like, let's look at anything Star Wars. Let's take any Star Wars pitch we can and let's start working on it. Because they know that Star Wars is going to be one of the things that keeps Disney Plus alive, especially now that they have to compete with Netflix, with HBO Max, Peacock on the horizon, as well as Quibi. But I don't think that's a big thing right now that they have to worry about. So again, all of this is theory, rumor, speculation, all of it, right? They hired a personal assistant. That's it, right? They want to talk about PR baggage, dude. They brought back James Gunn. They don't like Harvey Weinstein's going to jail for 23 years. None of that matters. It doesn't matter. Oh, she was Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant. Yeah. And I mean, like personal assistants, yeah, they know a fair amount, but it's not to say like they know everything. All right. Like it's not to say they know everything. Most of the time, they're just like gophers. Go for coffee. Go for this. Go for that. Do my laundry. Don't believe me? I used to work for former presidential candidate Marianne Williamson. I was her personal videographer for about 6 months back in 2012. Right? I was her personal videographer, and I hung out with her personal assistant pretty often. And I've watched that woman do Marianne's laundry. All right. Like the personal assistant job is not some kind of like confidant entirely. A lot of it is bitch work. Again, these are people who do not know the fucking industry and are trying to act like they've got this massive insight. And there's a key lack of in this particular regard about these issues here. Now, going on to say, he says, oh, it makes sense now. I couldn't figure out how they could even screw it from home, but they found a way. So again, more speculation, more theory, more hyperbole. So now that that's out of the way, right? Now that that non-news is out of the way, all that fake information is out of the way, let's find a way to double down on confirmation bias. Let's find a way to bring in other people who are going to be talking about this at all and to reiterate what they have to say as a way to create some kind of, I don't know, flowchart of collusion. Maybe, right? We need to get other people to confirm our bias in order to make sure that this particular narrative is set in stone, right? The multiple sources narrative, so people believe that it's real. No. Look at this here. Yeah, you got Neon and Geeky Sparkles at Clownfish TV. They talked about it, and they speculate. Again, the wording here is everything because they have to say that the information from Variety might have come directly from Headland. Oh, they speculate that. Well, do they have any proof? No, they don't because it's speculation. And then again, Neon says here, I'm speculating she took it upon herself. Geeky Sparkles then questions that the rumor points to Disney being livid at Lucasfilm instead of Headland, saying for hiring her, and I think she went running to the press, and I'll tell you why. So then they go on to say here that this doesn't feel like a Disney marketing campaign. It's Disney just chopping shows right now. They pulled the plug on shows citing force majeure, which is why they have the clause, if there's an act of God, to pull the plug on already contracted shows. They didn't pull the force majeure on any shows. They pulled it on the showrunners. There is a difference there. The force majeure ousted 2 people, and probably more than that, not from the shows, but their individual contracts at Disney or Marvel, whatever. Those are what was under force majeure. Like, did you read the article or just think that they're chopping shows citing act of God? No. It went for contracts, not productions, because Hellstrom's showrunner, which has already been filmed, he was axed. It wasn't Hellstrom. Was it, like, right? It's frustrating as a person who reads the fucking news to look at this and not want to pull whatever hair I have left out of my goddamn head because this is so insane. These people, they lie to you constantly because they only confirm their own bias, and they do it amongst themselves, right? And then again, later in the video, Geeky Sparkles elaborates on the idea that Variety's information came from Headland's PR people. She says here, this is most likely her PR people trying to get it out there and make sure that she draws attention for herself and gets in the media so Disney can't cancel it. That wouldn't stop Disney at all, for one. That wouldn't stop Disney about it at all. Like, again, do you not understand where we find ourselves in regards to this pandemic and how it's impacting Disney's financials? Like, I talk to people who talk about the theme park stuff all the time, and they show me articles about theme park losses. Disney right now, it's estimated that they're losing roughly $30 million a day by not having any of the parks, any of the cruise lines, or any of their merchandise stores open, and that the theaters are dead. $30 million a day. So right now, what's the only thing they've got that's making money for them? And that, of course, is Disney effing Plus. So it makes all the sense in the world that they would want to focus all of their attention to getting content ready to go for Disney Plus. Because even though theaters are open in Georgia, the theaters aren't actually open in Georgia because the theater chains aren't opening. Right? So they're not making any money that way. People aren't going to go to any of these events for quite some time because of like the lack of public gatherings that are going to be made illegal in many of these states. Expect Star Wars Celebration to be called off until 2021 because of this whole thing. So you got to follow the money. Why did none of these people ever follow the money? So look at this. Even Midnight's Edge did this video here, and it was garbage, by the way. It's clickbait. It's just called clickbait. Midnight's Edge then says here, to me, with the way this was leaked to Variety, and more importantly, the way Variety has worded this to look like an awful lot like someone behind the scenes are trying to force this into being made. Again, Borys Kit has also, from Hollywood Reporter, had known about some of this stuff going back to November. I have to keep reiterating that point because an actual Hollywood journalist, please repeat after me if some of you are a little bit slow on the uptake, actual Hollywood journalist, access media journalist who covers this for a trade, a well-respected, well-revered, oft-cited by these people trade, is saying, yeah, I heard about this back in November. She was at the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker red carpet. This is just, this is just getting the information out there. Someone leaked it early, blah, 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 blah. This isn't like whatever, okay? The speculation is just them trying to find a spin because there's nothing else going on right now. Again here, Andre elaborates. This is a kind of leaking looks to me like more political maneuvering than it does testing the waters or one's party's ploy to get more money, which are more, I mean, come on, what is this nonsense? Disney has said that they are in the business of making Star Wars TV shows. They're in the business of making Star Wars TV shows. This is not an unnew trait. This is not a new thing. This is not something that is coming in from the woodworks. They have said this. So trying to argue that it's politically based, dude, Andre, man, like, what the hell happened to your channel, dude? Like, I know you told me personally that you only do this anti-Star Wars stuff because it pays the bills. Like, I know you don't actually care, but this is just, it's beyond the pale ridiculous with you now. Like, it really is. And the same with the other people, too. There's nothing else going on, so all they have to do is just make crap up. And look, I get it. Some of you listening to this are going to be like, but Matt, yeah, no, like, fine. You like being lied to, by all means. You like being lied to. You like having false political narratives crammed down your throat. I get it. All right, fiction is fun. Let's be fair. Fiction is fun. But at the end of the day, these people who do not live or work anywhere near the industry are trying to tell you how the industry is going. They do not know what in the fuck they are talking about. And I can only make that so abundantly clear. There's a reason why people like Mike Zero was mocked heavily on the set of The Last Jedi, because he just made crap up. I don't know. If you guys want this kind of, just start calling them what they are, the National Enquirer of freaking YouTube movie news. But hey, the National Enquirer, people believe that was real too. People believe Alex Jones is real. When Alex Jones started going after Sandy Hook victims, there's a woman who continuously did it for years, would find out where the people moved to after they tried changing their names and moving to a new address. She would get that information, and she was finally stopped by a judge who ordered her to no longer watch InfoWars ever again, because of how much she was influenced by what Alex Jones was saying. If you seek the truth, Be wary of those that sell bullshit. And it's not hard in a global pandemic when the news has slowed to a trickle to see what is hyperbole and politically partisan nonsense and bullshit. I'm not even making that up. That is real. These people don't even hide from it in many cases. But a lot of you out there want to believe it. And I, honest to God, do not know why. At this point, I don't know why. Like, I would not want to read any outlet that I know actively lies to me. You know? Anyway. It's like, again here, Andre just, he says here, I think Kathleen Kennedy hired Leslye Headland to specifically do something, anything female-centric, and they don't even know what yet. But now that they put the news out there, now that they've got Entertainment Media Complex and Twitter Audi all fired up, it'll be very hard for Bob Iger to shut it down. No, it won't. Because Bob Iger doesn't care about any of that. And Iger's not even the one that would really make that call anymore. Chapek is still the CEO. Iger is taking the reins on a couple facets, but it's still Chapek who is the one who has the name CEO. So, you know what? Iger's job is to make sure that they can keep the stock prices up and stave off any kind of potential attack from Apple. That's what's happening. Right? So it's, again, Chapek is still the CEO of the company. I do think he's going to be the fall guy if this goes real south. I do think that's going to happen. But that's only because if they are not able to get this under control. And then we finally hear he says, Disney and Lucasfilm in particular is a house divided, which is just, it's like, where's your proof of that? Where, Andre? Where's your proof of that, man? Like, it's an honest question at this point. Where is your proof of any of this? Well, I think it's my theory. I'm speculating. Yada, 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 yada. Blow it out your ass. All you're doing is speculating on nonsense. That's it. You're manufacturing nonsense. It's being co-opted and amplified by other people who are pushing nonsense. Anyone with a working knowledge of how Hollywood works or pays attention to actual in-the-know access journalists who talk about this stuff openly on Twitter know that this is a bullshit narrative. But once again, people who don't actually leave the echo chamber that they are in don't ever actually stop to look at this and go, yeah, maybe I'm not entirely right on this one. Because you're not right on this one. You need to stop pushing these theories that are nonsense. Because they're not based in reality. They're fictional, just like Star Wars, just like Star Trek, just like every other piece of entertainment, pop culture media. It's not real. It's absolute fucking fiction.